Hi, it's Liliana, and I hope you all had a great weekend. Today we are going to talk about leadership lessons we can learn from Sir Richard Branson. For all of you who cannot remember just right from the top of your head who Sir Richard Branson is, I will tell you he's a chairman of Virgin Group, which means someone who has created over 360 very successful companies and employing over 50,000 employees in around 30 countries. Some people say that Sir Richard Branson is larger than life. He's basically the most famous global icon entrepreneur who is challenging all conventions and succeeding against the odds. Famous mantra of Sir Richard Branson is beep. I'm not going to say it. You can read this on the screen. And I heard something very fun recently at the conference of marketing people in USA. People were discussing keynote of Sir Richard Branson, and someone commented, well, you think you are doing pretty well, and then you meet that guy. Although I have never met personally Sir Richard Branson, they say that he, at least on stage, projects approachability and humility, which is really something that I must say I admire. So in this interview I read on Entrepreneur magazine, they asked Sir Richard Branson to come up with 5 secrets of successfully building business. And he was reflecting across 40 years that he is in business, and he exposed for, I don't know, nth time in his life what these secrets are. So the secrets of successfully building business, he said, are: number 1, enjoy what you are doing, as you can see here. Number 2, create something that stands out. Number 3, secret number 3, create something that everybody who works for you is really proud of. This sounds good, doesn't it? But I'm not going to go in details on these 3 secrets. I'm going to move to something that concerns leadership and management matters, because this is our topic, and if you want to know more about this article, I'm going to send the link where you can read the full article. So number 4, or 4th secret of successfully building business for Sir Richard Branson, is be a good leader. The best thing of all is that he explains in what way he demonstrates his leadership, and if you are somewhat like me, that you like examples, you like practical applications, you are going to enjoy this short lesson, because we can see exactly what he means and in what ways he demonstrates he is a good leader. Number 5, the 5th secret of building successful business is be visible. In my opinion, every good leader should be visible, and it is part of being a good leader, but obviously Sir Richard Branson wanted to discuss in what way he was visible to his employees and customers, and he talked about this in little more details. So let's start with his description of what means being a good leader. I'm going to read a few sentences, and these are just short points. He says, after I read what he said, I'm going to, of course, comment a little bit and express my opinion. He said, as a leader, you have to be a really good listener. It's here. So I know everybody talks about listening at every management course, or even customer service course or sales course. But let's see what it means. What exactly he means by saying be a good listener. So I'm going to read what he said. You need to know your own mind, but there is no point in imposing your views on others without some debate. No one has a monopoly on good ideas or good advice. This blows me out, not only because it is hard to find anyone listening to you, even in private life, or caring to state that others might have good idea, let alone better ideas, sometimes. And if you consider that this is coming from someone who has really unbelievable success It is even more impressive. It sounds nearly impossible to find someone that has a great track record, and even on a much smaller scale, that can admit and listen and evaluate other people's ideas or his employees' ideas. And I understand this in a way, because over the years, when you bolster your confidence after you have been very successful, it's very easy to end up trapped in your own mind and appreciating your own judgment. You feel that you know it all, and that you have already proven to yourself that you have a good judgment. But you can really, by remaining and keeping this attitude, you can not only demotivate your people or others in your team, but you can miss some fantastic opportunities to grow or improve business, because you might not hear some idea that is really fantastic, and you might not even stop to consider it due to this overconfidence. Okay, let's move to another example of Sir Richard Branson. He says, get out there, listen to people, draw people out, and learn from them. As a leader, you've also got to be extremely good at praising people. Everyone knows that, again, I guess, but how often do you do it? Let's stop and think for a moment, and if you are an executive or a CEO or someone who has a team of managers that report to you, are you sure, and are you making sure that these managers of yours are really using this cheap and powerful management tool, and you have to make sure they're using it on a regular basis? This is one of the elements of great management, and it costs nothing. Okay, let's go down on this list. So this is another example how he demonstrates his leadership. He says, never openly criticize people. This means, I suppose, that you shouldn't criticize people in front of the others, and I can't agree more. Then he says also, never lose your temper, and always lavish praise on your colleagues for a job well done. This we discussed already. He said, people flourish if they're praised. Usually they don't need to be told when they've done wrong, because most of the time they know it. This is the only thing where I don't agree, and I would do a little bit differently. Of course, I don't miss my boss losing his temper, but it happened a couple of times only, so it doesn't matter so much. But I don't agree with this point of not telling someone he's done something wrong. I would tell them definitely, just to make sure that they know I know, and there are ways and means how you have to criticize people, and if you need more instruction, let me know. And because also people get more engaged when given negative feedback rather than not getting any. At least Gallup's research says so, and I believe it's like that too. The problem is that most of the managers hate criticizing people, and when managers and supervisors don't know what to say, they say nothing. There is another danger there. You think you are keeping calm atmosphere and the people are going to be upset, but think about another thing. If you don't criticize this person that did something wrong, and perhaps you vent your frustration in front of someone else regarding the performance of that person, this can very easily, and it very often arrives to the other person in question, and the person gets to know. So it damages your relationship with that person and that employee. It can damage your credibility and respect, and it can also have negative consequences on the performance of that person. So consider this. Okay. What is the next thing he said? Yes, this was amazing, and truly unbelievable leadership and management in practice. He said, if somebody is not working out, don't automatically throw him or her out of the company. A company should genuinely be a family. Well, I don't know how he does that, okay? Let me continue. Then he says, so see if there is another job within the company that suits them better. On most occasions, you'll find something for every single kind of personality. Okay, my comment here is that this is a neat strengths-based management approach, which I'm a strong believer in, and this is another proof that it works. So you probably had employees who shined in certain roles and were mediocre in others. And I was also one of those employees. I was great in certain tasks and roles, and the other ones I was just average, hardly, and I didn't feel happy about it. But the job of manager and his big responsibility is to find out what, first of all, his strengths are and also strengths of his people, so that they can appoint them to such jobs, tasks or roles where these people can use these strengths to the level, so that they can achieve the level of excellent performance. And you should make sure that you know these strengths of yours and you know your people, and if you are an executive, you should make sure that your team also knows this and use this approach. And this will really pay off, because you will get the best return on your resources, productivity, loyalty, customers will be happier. I will talk about this very soon in another video or a blog post. And if you have more questions, definitely you can ask me, and I will help you with techniques and exact steps how you have to go about this. So let's see what Sir Richard Branson thought when he said, what did Sir Richard Branson think when he said, you need to be visible. Let's see what his examples of visibility are. He said, a good leader does not get stuck behind a desk. I've never worked in an office. I've always worked from home, but I get out and about meeting people. It is... Then he said, it seems I'm traveling all the time, but I always have a notebook in my back pocket to jot down questions, concerns, or good ideas. So this is how he listens to people as well. You can see it here again. Then he continues, if I'm on a Virgin Atlantic plane, I make certain to get out and meet all the staff and many of the passengers. If you meet a group of Virgin Atlantic crew members, you are going to have at least 10 suggestions or ideas. If I don't write them down, I may remember only one the next day. By writing them down, I remember all 10. Get out and shake hands with all the passengers on the plane, and again, there are going to be people who had a problem or have a suggestion. Write it down, he says, make sure that you get their names, get their email addresses, and make sure the next day that you respond to them. So what is this? This is not only visibility, but this is connected to a trust issue. And everybody's saying everywhere leader needs to develop trust. He needs to earn trust. He needs to deserve trust from the others. So this is how you earn trust. You listen to the others, you respond to them and their ideas, and this is how you can make sure that your powerful marketing powerful marketing word of mouth works, because you get their customers also see you, you respond to them, you do what you promise to do, and people get impressed and they tell the others. So you gain marketing, you gain credibility, you gain on leadership qualities, and for sure you gain in everything. So this is all for today, and it would be great to know if you liked this video. If you have any ideas, I am always happy to hear from you. Any comments? I talked about this today because I like to see what works or what worked for other successful people. I like to think about trying it out, and I hope the same applies to you. So have a great job. Get back to me with any ideas, comments or questions. No problem, I will be very happy to answer them. Have a great day and talk to you soon. Bye.